Wow. This is it. This is it, Charlie.
Woohoo!
There's nothing more. That's the illusion that there's something other than this.
There's nothing more.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah, there is nothing more. I was thinking about this today. There's no other.
Hmm.
Other is the illusion that there's other, something other than this.
Coffee. Be right back.
Okay. Yeah, it's already a done deal. It's already the case that this is what's sought is just whatever's happening. And somehow the seeking for it seems to veil it. Like, because seeking, when you're looking for it, it's saying that this isn't it already. This isn't it already. That's why I'm seeking.
The tail end of a full day for me, apparently.
Yeah. I just see this. I just see five beautiful faces on Zoom. That's all it's really seems to be happening, and not even, right, Amor?
Well, I see six beautiful faces because I think you excluded yourself, and I think you have the most beautiful face here. So
Uh,
I just had to.
well, it's all this. It's all this. In all, every expression is this. You just can't get around it. Like the good, the bad, and the ugly, all of it, right? It's like 100% the shit you don't like. 100%. Okay, I just have to say it. Charlie, that woman, that Italian world's greatest audition, when she
Oh my
balanced,
God.
oh my God, are you kidding me? It's like one of
I,
the best
I,
things I've ever
I
seen.
was, I oftentimes get that way when I watch those kind of videos and things and the voice and all that. I get teary
Yeah.
and I just have to share some of those things. And so I dart them out and, it all appears to be just perfect. And then sometimes, I don't get the best feedbacks, or I never open up those things and all this kind of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I just go, oh, what a terrible, waste because it's just gorgeous. But the world, as it appears, it filters through this framework that exists. There's a reference point, and that everybody has one. That's what makes it kind of confusing for some people, but there's no reason for it to be confusing. It's always exactly what appears.
Yes.
That's
Beautiful.
all of it, and that's all it is. But everybody seems to have a reference point, and that's unavoidably obvious and apparent. And so, No sense in denying that. There's nothing non-dual about it.
Yeah.
This appearing as a whole bunch of individualized special us's with our own reference points, experiencing these life stories. It's all just this.
Yeah,
How
well, whatever
how
happens is
fucking mind blow whatever this is, right?
Yeah.
This is not even.
Yeah. Yeah.
what
Like the simplicity of how just this, right? Like, how is this happening right now?
it's a miracle about miracles.
Yeah.
It's absolutely phenomenal. I mean, it's just a word, but you got to you got to shoot for the moon when you talk about it because um, and none of it ever lands any better or worse. It is simply what's coming up. And I love, especially at night here in a kind of a groggy state. I had eaten an ibuprofen that makes me able to sleep a few hours, and so oh man, I can just sit in this glow until the next day pops up. Usually about 2, 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, it's so simple because it's always just this. So it's always available. It's never not here what you're looking for.
What you're looking from. Really, I mean, there's not a you looking from it, but there's definitely a seeing.
Yeah, it's mind-blowing, right? Because the seeing, you guys, the
I
seeing,
think you were accurate about saying that there was 5 faces or whatever. You're discounting your own because it doesn't exist. My face doesn't exist.
yeah. So that's the illusion that there's someone in these bodies.
Yeah, or that there's a body. I have a frontal bib hanging from an empty chin,
Yeah,
and you guys all are, space. I am space for you to happen in, and that's the truth.
yeah.
That's the literal direct experience of the direct appearance, I should say.
Yeah, your space for this to happen in, just like your space for a nighttime dream, so to say, to happen in.
Yes, space to be aware of this that just simply arises. Emptiness filled up to the brim and overflowing with what appears.
Yeah, and it's not personal. And so that's the stickiness when there's a belief that there's a
Yes,
somebody.
but it is intimate, isn't it?
Well, it's always intimate.
Yeah, just I mean, straight up, intimate to the point of to just let the intimacy simply be. It almost is teary. At least it's that way here. It's almost teary. It's beauty, even when it's sorrow, even when it's super hard.
Yeah. Yeah, everything doesn't leave anything out.
Yeah, I mean, there's just a ringing of pain throughout. Getting up is hard. I'm getting older
Yeah,
here,
getting old
just,
is hard. Yep.
and so working 10 hours in a factory. Oh my God,
Yeah.
so much, so much happening all the time, and so much pain, physical pain, and it's just so goddamn quiet too, and it's incredibly loud there. So much activity. You got to have earplugs and internet and hard
Yeah.
hat,
The
all of this
silence,
kind of stuff.
the silence and the activity are not two.
Literally.
No, there's never two of anything, no matter what. Everything is non-dual, no matter what it is. Even me declaring that I'm a separate self identity and everyone else is a part of away from a me. That's all non-dual because otherwise non-duality is not true. It simply is. Simply is all one thing, and there can't be an exception no matter what, right? There isn't
Well,
an exception.
the me may claim to feel like one, but that doesn't make it
Yeah.
so. That doesn't make
Oh
it
my
so
God,
because
feelings.
hold
If I
on,
listen
Chuck,
to them, I'd be in trouble.
but even separation isn't separate.
No, no way. Never was. Because everything has always been just exactly the way it is. And so this experience here in this area is emptiness and everything
Hmm.
all
Yeah.
at once.
Yeah.
Not two things, not two things.
No, sir.
Um, uh, Everything and beyond. It's
Beyond.
like I say that because it's like a dream. It's like a dream, and the dreamer, the dream is this appearance of change in an emptiness where change is impossible.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so that emptiness is beyond this. It's all occurring, and so I have to say I am that empty, or I could say I'm nothing.
Or you could say you're both the movie and the screen.
Yes, and as long as there's that's all one and non-dual.
Yeah. It is all that's well, that it's all one is what can't be believed. It's not a belief that the
No, yeah,
duality and non-duality are not two. You
it's
can't.
unimaginable.
Yeah.
Gorgeous. Mrs. Graves entered.
Oh, the cat.
Yeah, she's, she usually likes to go to meetings.
Yeah, no separation already. What a hoot. Is it Addie? Is that how do you pronounce your name?
Yeah. Addie. Addie.
Okay, welcome. I think it's the first time I've seen you here.
I like your background more.
Yeah, thank you. I sort of like it too. I like the ways the
You look
colors
like you
change.
I mean, your hat makes you look like you're in like the snowy wilderness.
Oh,
It
that's
goes
yeah,
with it.
Yeah, like you're up in the mountains.
Yeah, exactly.
that sounds like fun. I'm up in the Himalayas right now,
You even have your little
meditating with the yogis.
you have your ears covered.
when we talk about the silence and the unknown or the emptiness, I kind of experienced a little bit of that today. I had a procedure where I was under anesthesia. And when you're under anesthesia, there's just nothing there until you're out of it. It's just complete. And when I came out of it, it was so restful. I felt so
Mm-hmm.
It's like, going into a place that's naturally already there, yet I clutter it with my thoughts and feelings and emotions, all those type of things. But it was interesting because I wanted to stay as awake as I could. And this guy had, I just was watching him, and all of a sudden he wasn't there. And next thing I knew, it was 40 minutes later, and the doctor was talking to me.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and
It's just, Manny, it's just a really good reminder of why time is an illusion.
yes, yeah. Well, yeah. Had no idea of the passing of it and what happened in between.
No.
Yeah, yeah,
Well, one day those lights go off and then they don't appear to come back on.
yeah. To the parent self. Yeah,
I'll make the burgers.
Wait,
yeah. If that's the way it is, it's very peaceful.
So what happens when the lights go off and they don't come back on?
Nothing.
No more objects.
Yeah, nothing. Like what happens when you go to sleep but don't dream?
y'all gonna watch me and my brother make some eggs while we talk about bullshit. How's that sound?
Oh, that sounds lovely. But that this is already it. You know, what the heck? Who is that? Is that Gregory? Gregory Miller. Should I mute him?
Yes.
Hold on. Oh, Gregory has kids.
I thought of a cool rhyme that goes with his name.
What?
Greg the Dead.
Did you just say Greg the Dead?
Yes.
Okay. Ah,
Yeah, I think those are his grandchildren. I think he has young grandchildren.
okay, thank you. I figured you would know.
He doesn't seem old enough to have grandchildren. I always tell him that.
No, no, he does not. That was funny. So yeah, anything can happen. That's the mystery. You really don't know what's next in the magic show.
But isn't that the fun of it?
Well, it can be. It could be scary as hell if it's taken as real. Right? If you take a haunted house as real, it's not a lot of fun. It's really scary.
Not too loud because I'm trying to talk to them.
Oh no, I'm not going to music.
Wow. Nice digs. Look at that stove.
What a fun meeting
Bruh.
tonight.
Devin, join us in the meeting. Come on.
I think I have stove envy.
Really?
They look like a nice, like one of those big Viking stoves.
It's. Wait. Oh shit.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's quite dirty if you look at it. Oh
Okay.
my.
All right. But it looks pretty sturdy.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Is yours not sturdy?
Well, I have like a little white apartment one, about half that size.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah,
I'm about to feel the struggle of that when I have to move out of here. Just like, oh, everything's shrunk. What the heck?
yeah.
Where do thoughts come from? Well, where are they coming from?
I don't know, Don. You tell us.
Oh, I, I have no idea. That's why I'm asking you. Somebody knows on this. You all have a good answer.
Well, it comes where everything comes from.
Where? Where's that?
Your mom.
There you go. There you go, Don.
There's the answer. I got it. More, I got it.
Don, I think that what I would say is that things appear and nobody knows a fucking thing. And I think that anybody who claims to know something concrete and solid, well, you could say that that's just this too. But I mean, really, I mean, who knows where thoughts truly come from? I mean, all that we all see is that we have this focal point, and these thoughts appear to come, and these things appear to happen. Amor appears to be sick right now. But I mean, who knows anything beyond that? I don't know, Michael, if you could
Yeah,
sign off
yeah.
on that. But
Well, I would just say this. Hey, Don, the same, right, place in quotations that question came from is the same place the answer would come from.
Where dreams come from?
Hmm?
Where dreams pop up from?
Yeah, nowhere.
Take a nap and a dream pops up.
Yeah. But it's actually not coming from anywhere. That's the story.
Well, it's a story that's verifiable. At least you can see it. Arise. If you're kind of like before you take a nap, you pop in and out. It just comes. Every thought just comes,
Yeah.
just arises.
Yeah. Yeah.
Different than everything here. Everything is already here, and then there's a waiting, and then a thought arises. It comes from nowhere.
Yeah.
If you're, I mean, people would say it's your mind. Now that's a story,
Yeah.
but direct experience or what arises, it just arises. And then, there's a tendency to say, that's mine. That's my thought.
Yeah.
You have your thoughts and I have my thoughts. And so, yeah, there's a tendency for that. But if you're just see it, it just arises out of a waiting.
well, you see, there was this story of an Amor seeking and trying to figure out where do thoughts come from and what is this and what is that. And that story sort of carried on into this Amor that just looks at the world in amazement. Like no more trying to figure it out. It just is. Like everything is just amazing. It's beautiful. It's just the way that it arises and it goes and it comes and it goes. And I just allow it and I don't try to figure it out anymore. I become part of it almost. And that's not to say that there's anything that was figured out here, or that I have anything, or that there's a separate special me to have something. It's all this
I
like that
mean,
nighttime.
even if there was a figuring out, that would be just what was the
Well, that would
arising.
be just what was happening too. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
And so, yeah, there's nothing special about not figuring anything out all of a sudden. That's just what's arising.
I'm saying the act of no longer having to, no longer seeking, feeling
Yeah.
like you no longer have to seek something. But
Yeah.
seeking is also it too,
Yeah.
which is
No.
why there's nobody special, no
No.
longer seeking.
Yeah. Yeah, but seeking can be very painful, I have to say. Like here, it was really unbearable. Like it was this, and it was just the feeling of being separate.
Believing that it was you, believing that it's a you,
Yeah, innocently, Chuck, innocently.
simply believing.
Yeah, it just happens. No one's doing the believing.
Believing arises, and there's a belief in that belief.
Yeah,
And
trying to follow
they call it
Ramana
a
Maharshi's.
contraction.
What?
They
What?
call it a contraction, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Trying to follow Ramana Maharshi's teachings, and then wanting to go and go put on a loincloth and go to India, and not feeling like you've gotten it yet for 3 years. Yeah, that's painful. Trying to be just like Ramana.
Well, yeah.
Hey, speaking of Ramana, hey, Gregory.
Hello. Get it going there.
Welcome.
Yeah, I was having
Hello.
trouble getting this thing going. It was getting interrupted. I heard a little talk there. I didn't really hear what you guys were saying, so now I'm here.
We were just gossiping about you.
Yeah, I heard something about grandchildren.
Yeah, was that your kid? Was that your grandkids?
You guys heard that? Okay, yeah. If you guys heard that, there was two of them talking. Yeah,
We were actually talking shit.
yeah. Two of them in there were talking at the same time.
Well, they're old
Yeah,
and they have sleepy kitties.
Who?
Are they talking shit?
No.
Oh,
Oh my God. No control.
no, do really good on that.
Gavin,
okay?
I'm on a call.
Right? Because like the illusion of control, right, is so painful.
it really is.
And that's it too.
It's a struggle.
Yeah.
Whole on struggle for nothing. Hey, but it feels alive though. It feels very much alive. That struggle
but
is very much alive.
Yeah.
But if there's no purpose, then it's just part of what's going on.
Yeah, that's what's
And
happening.
yeah,
Funny thing is, it doesn't even really feel like a struggle. Once that illusion goes away, then it stops feeling like a struggle. Can't really describe it as that.
yeah.
That's what it felt like for many years here. It felt like life was always a struggle, and people told me there was a life without a struggle. That seems so unreal. Like, what do you mean? Life is always a struggle. What do you mean it's not a struggle? That was mind blowing to me to hear that. I immediately reject that thought. Like immediately upon hearing that, you're crazy. Life is not struggling at all. Doesn't struggle to struggle. That feeling of struggling is not struggling to happen. It just happens.
So then you're saying there's no struggling at all.
No, there's what we're calling struggle. There's the thought of struggling, the story of it.
Right, but there is no struggling. There's
It's not really struggling. Yeah.
Okay.
It appears to be struggling. You can say it appears to be struggling. It's not denied the appearance of it. Yeah.
Okay. Excellent.
It just seems like the story comes along and it labels it a struggle, and I mean that's what it really makes it feel like it's real, alive. It's this aliveness that's just appearing as a struggle, as that feeling of a struggle and a struggle going on, wrestling for control, which is just resistance to what's happening.
Yeah. It's this resisting itself.
Yeah, just completely resisting it, completely and totally resisting itself. That's what it feels like. So it's funny because then we think, well, that feeling's not supposed because he wants to get rid of that feeling because it shouldn't be happening to me. Not that feeling. I shouldn't feel like this.
Right.
But the whole thing is that when that feeling is accepted, it gets rid of you. It can totally appear. It's totally free to appear. And then the one that's complaining about it wants to get rid of it. All of a sudden, that's not there anymore. That stops showing up to complain and push against it anymore. And then struggling stops feeling like a struggle. It's just, maybe the inquiry starts going, well, what is this thing struggle? It's like this curiousness gets into it. Like, what is this? And then it arises. Next time it arises, there's like this attention to it. Like, what is this? And then it does. It really gets like, it seems to feel like magic. Like Michael often describes it that way. It does feel like that. Very, very magical.
I was
That's
just
happening.
I was just looking at my hand when I was making tea before this Zoom, and I was just mesmerized. Like I stopped making tea and I'm just going, how is this hand here?
Yeah. I totally don't even know how I'm doing in my hands. It's just happening.
Right? It's
I don't
like,
even need to know.
It's like we take it for granted. Oh, by the way, there's just a hand here. Never mind.
Yeah.
No, it's like everything. That's the thing about being a me. It's like everything's boring.
Yeah, it makes everything mundane.
Yeah.
All into an explanation, and once it knows the explanation, then it's just dead. Everything's just like, that's just normal. I see it all the time.
Yeah.
And it does. It's like brand new all the time. You've never seen it before. The whole memory that comes up behind that and says, I've seen this before, that's brand new. Like that's never happened before. If you look at what's happening, it's never appeared like that at all before, but it seems to push off this idea that, oh, this looks familiar. I've seen this before. I know what's happening. And then everything seems dead when you know what's happening. And then someone come up and will say something about what's happening and it's completely different to what you believe is the story behind the explanation of how that happens. And immediately an argument comes up. It protects that belief against the belief it's now hearing. The explanation it's now hearing. So it's no, that's not possible because I already know what it is and I experienced it this way and that's how I see it. The whole filter of that belief is there. It's just totally protecting itself. Nobody is doing it. It's the belief just seems to be doing it all by itself, just protecting itself, reinforcing itself. And so insecure, and yet it's so innocent at the same time. Yeah, very interesting.
Very beautiful, Gregory. Gregory, the way what you say and how you say it makes me smile. So thank you.
Yeah, I didn't even do anything. But thank you. No, but I get it. I totally get that. I get it all the time. I do. I get it all the time. Every time I read a lot of people's words here right now, and so I read them online like this. Yeah, I smile away when I read their posts and everything. It's nice to have, because there was a time where you're going through all this and it feels very lonely. Like nobody understands you. Everyone thinks you're crazy. It's nothing more than beliefs are collapsing. And then when you go and tell them about, well, that belief's not really true. And then you want to share that because, you feel so free and open and then immediately it gets rejected.
Yeah.
Like, no, that belief comes up. No. And you're like, well, what you're looking for is actually what's actually already happening. Nope. No, it's not.
Nope.
Yeah.
Couldn't be.
Okay.
Good one.
Yeah. That's just what's long for. That one got me for the longest too. I didn't really even get that one for the longest. You don't get it. That's the thing.
No.
You think you have to get it, and then when you kind of let go, it's just so obvious.
Well,
what's long for is what's happening.
It's funny because so you ask the self, well, how do you know this isn't it? Oh, well, it doesn't feel like it.
Yeah. Well, what's that feeling?
Well, I don't know, but I just know that this isn't it, right?
Yeah.
It's such a mantra.
But that's what it'll do. Then as soon as you ask that question, well, what's that feeling? Then it'll put up another protection, not want to go into that feeling either. It's just a simple question. It's like just making it look at its own story. Like its own story is like, well, it's this, and is it? Is it really that?
Yeah.
But immediate wants to put up and protect that story, immediate and protect that belief, like it's alive. Like I gotta
Yeah.
protect this thing.
Well, yeah, it doesn't want to die. It, you
Mm-mm.
know,
Nothing does, right?
right, exactly.
Yeah, nothing wants to die. It's kind of funny because it makes sense in like two different ways.
Yeah, yeah,
Nothing wants to die and nothing wants to die.
yeah,
Nothing
oh,
wants to die and nothing wants to die.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because
So
even death is a very scary thing, and it's just a belief. Like, because anybody who asks what death is, and they'll just tell you a bunch of beliefs. They didn't die. They haven't died, so what do they know? You know. But it's funny because then you have death. It's all right here. That's the only place where it's ever experienced in what we call life and what's being called life. There's no there's no understanding or knowing of it otherwise. You know, it happens right as life is happening, and then you look around. Everything that we call dead is like it's still alive. It's still completely alive. I mean, we say something's alive. We say it's growing, and then we say it's dead. It's decaying. It's still change. It's all change.
Hmm.
We're just labeling it. This change has this name, and this change has that name. It's still change.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
yeah, so nothing changed. Nothing changed.
Everything's changed and nothing's
Everything's
changed.
the same.
Yeah.
And but there's this it all seems to be emptiness arising, just as everything appears.
Yeah.
That emptiness, I would call myself,
I overcooked yours. Is that fine?
would be nothing.
Like that. Fine.
I mean, anything you call anything is just seems like anything that's appearing is what is. That's the only you there could be is whatever's happening. That's
Yeah,
literally everything. It's not something separate. It's not
nothing
anything. It's
and
even
everything.
nameable. But it's everything nameable, and then it's also nothing nameable.
Hmm.
Nothing and everything is happening simultaneously as one
Yeah, even
or
you just
non-dual.
you don't even have to say it's even that. Just say it's happening. Period. I mean, it's just not one. It's not two.
Yeah,
Just
the only
happening.
reason speaking about it, the only reason these words are coming out about it
Yeah.
is because there's this clarity about nothing.
Yeah.
You say
Yeah.
there's no me, there's no me, there's no meanness
Yeah.
is the only thing that seems to change. The shift that people talk about,
Mhm.
this thing that turns us into an obsessed person about duality.
Yeah. Passionate.
So that emptiness, that no meanness is nothing changes, but this no meanness now is somehow not affected at all.
Yeah, despite all the changes. Yeah.
So this is the only real thing that changed.
Yeah, the unchanging. Yeah. What is
And
like
it's
everything
always been that
changes.
way, though. It was always that way to begin with.
Hmm.
Yeah.
It was always that, and this is reality. The reality that always is. And so then the search is over then. Here.
Yeah.
With everything being exactly the way it was.
Mhm.
Except there's none of this striving attachment
Right.
and identification, even though there's still the perspective,
Perspectives arise. Yeah.
yeah, of Chuck, of everybody by name here with their life.
Well, I mean, every
Um,
perspective seems to arise, but it doesn't really have an owner to it.
yeah, because the owner is emptiness.
Well, there's not. It's just another thought. It's just another thought attached to that.
It
So
is.
it's not even separate from the thought. The I and the thought is just nothing more than a report of something that seems to be happening. It's just
That's
like when
why
we say, yeah, when we say I am breathing, it's just a report of breathing seems to be happening. You know, it's a description. It's trying to describe what's already has no
change.
description. It's already
Nothing
beyond
changed.
description because it already
So
has
there's
all
still
descriptions.
the capacity. Nothing changed. So there's still the capacity to communicate. with the same exact words, except they don't seem to fit. And so, then we get into verbing. We want to verb everything out.
Oh, look at
But if I see the contrast even better with nouns. The contrast is really clear then. You say when I say I, it's like I'm getting poked in the side by myself. That those words alone are notifying me of a difference, a fundamental difference, a shift in identity from Chuck to emptiness.
Mhm.
And so if I can go ahead and open to that, then I can give my identity to that as we go. It's already done anyway. It's always that way.
Yeah, it's
But
already.
there's a conscious capacity to open to that. That's what happens in these meetings.
Yeah,
That's what this drive to clarify is.
I don't
yeah,
even see it as even a drive to clarify anymore. It's not even that. It's just a celebration of just being what it is. Being it is what it is. It's not trying to get anything out of appearing.
Well,
It's not
no,
trying to go somewhere with appearing. It already is full and it's already whole and complete as it is, exactly as it appears.
yeah.
Mhm. So even
But
the appearance, even the
it
feeling of
dawned on you
separation is wholeness.
that I keep wanting to talk about this.
Mhm. Well, it's just expressing. It's constantly expressing itself all the time. So it's in
Yeah,
everything. It's not just in words, and literally everything is expressing itself in the wind blowing across the skin. It's the sound of rain falling. I mean, it's all
speak.
literally everything. It's just if you don't even put any thoughts to it, it doesn't even change because the word change. If you have a belief in that word change, then it seems like everything changes because you have a belief in that word. But if you let go of that word, what's left to be changing? What's there to be said that's changing?
Yeah, there's
Now
no
everything gets very,
news
very
coming
curious
out of
because now
emptiness.
you're looking at something that you're like, it's not changed. It's not really that word changing. So what's happening? What's really happening? Everything's happening.
Exactly what was happening before, except it's
Yeah.
not true.
But there's no before. There's never a before. There's always just what's happening. There's never ever been a what happened. No direct experience of what happened ever.
Words.
The only direct experience of a what happened is what's happening now. It's a story that's happening now, talking about something that happened that didn't happen because it's happening now. Is that story? Yeah. It's
It's
pretty beautiful.
complete
I mean,
emptiness
yeah,
speaking.
yeah. But it tries to project time, but time's not ever happening. It's just time happens right here, and the time is appearance this direct immediacy of what seems to be happening.
Incredible, this incredible push for
Yeah,
those words to just happen by themselves,
yeah,
which are just
yeah,
exactly what's happening.
yeah.
yeah.
Everything appearing in those words. Yeah, the whole totality.
Yeah, just like they did before.
Yeah, yeah, always. Yeah.
There was no before.
Yeah,
Because
what seems to happen. I mean, from here, it seems like what happens is a lot of the beliefs are just popping away
exactly
until
that.
eventually the me just falls away. If that's what it seems to like happen here. But for some, it seems like no beliefs pop away, and then all of a sudden they just wake up one morning, and then they realize like a cockroach runs across the street, like and her name's Byron Katie, and then she runs across the street and realizes there's no Byron Katie, and it goes around telling everybody, "Why are you so sad? There's no you," and then nobody wants to hear that. So now she helps everyone with beliefs.
Well, Byron Katie, her genius was just to focus on one thing, and that
Yeah,
was your thoughts.
yeah, self inquiry. Yeah.
Yeah,
Negative.
Oh, all of them. She was on all of them. Yeah.
Yeah, but thoughts that hurt.
Yeah, those ones specifically. Yeah, she did because she even says it, but when they ask her about the questions, because she realizes there's nobody there to help.
yeah,
She even says that, but
You know,
but she likes to see her children happy. She even says, "Who doesn't like to see their children happy?"
yeah,
Yeah, you don't want to see them suffering, so it makes sense. Like, yeah, of course she's gonna. There's nothing wrong with helping people with beliefs if they want to switch and change beliefs and hold on to beliefs and feel that that's what they need. That's still this. That's still this. That's appearing as that. So there's nothing wrong with the me that's going about living his life and managing his life and struggling about it and suffering left and right. There's nothing wrong with that. It's still this. So
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. There really is no past.
No. That's what's so beautiful about what's happening, because even memories start to become very intriguing, because it's like, what then is a memory? Because the
Yeah.
story I have about the memory is not really true. It doesn't happen like that. It
Yes.
doesn't happen
Yeah,
from the past.
exactly.
So now you get really curious, and now it starts to open up, and all the beliefs that you had and what everyone seemed to tell you as a child, when you were way more open to everything, when you didn't need a story for anything, but everything was, what is this? 'Cause everything was so exciting. What is this? So you might get that, but then that wants to be fulfilled. It wants to, it seems like, it sounds like it's looking for fulfillment to an adult. So an adult's going to tell that child what it is. And that child's going to lose all the curiosity in that thing, because the child's going to think it really knows what that thing is. And it becomes dead. It just becomes another dead object at a distance. Distance from me is something I can use, or something that becomes mundane I can ignore, or something that I think is really wonderful that I got to protect and worry about, that someone might steal it because it's so wonderful.
Yeah, so that's the difference, Gregory, is that sense of playfulness
Yeah.
that we all had as children, just to play freely. And then somehow at a certain point, with language and concepts getting thicker, that playfulness seems to have gone away and a seriousness came in.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it did. It was very serious too. Yeah. Especially knowing things is very serious. Getting to know things is very serious, right? That's what we go to college for, or try to pass our exams for. And it gets really serious and nerve-wracking.
Well, knowledge is a funny thing, right? Because on the one hand, you just strive for it left, right, and center. I mean, if you just look at it's all about information. And
Yeah.
so it's constantly eating it like a ghost with an empty belly because it can never get enough. You can
No.
never have enough knowledge.
No. Never ends.
Yeah.
No. So and the knowledge always gives you it always makes that false promise that once you get enough understanding, then everything will be much better. But
Well,
it's just,
not only that, though, it even starts off thinking it knows something. Just
yeah.
to speak on a word already implies a knowing of.
Yeah. Well, you said right there, the very first one, I am.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I know in this direction, there's only looking. There's only looking and waiting. And
Yeah.
words come from nowhere.
Yeah.
Knowing comes from nowhere. If you ask me a question, when I answer it, we're both hearing it at the exact same time coming out of this space area. Thing is coming from a nothing. It is nothing.
It doesn't, if you look for it, it doesn't even appear from any location, really.
Right.
Whatever's said is appearing as everything. It's not, there's no location to where it's actually really appearing. Like, it looks like it coming out of mouth. It looks like words are falling out of the mouth, but this is just an empty radio, like Romano would call it. It looks like the radio has something coming out of it, but you could take the radio apart. There's nothing in there. The same thing. Take the body apart, you still don't find anything in there vocalizing it.
The perfect nothingness of a no me.
Yeah. And then you look into the body, it starts to disappear. The closer you get to the body, it just stops looking like a body. Like, you don't recognize it as a body anymore. The closer you get to it, it doesn't look anything like a body.
Yeah.
And then it disappears, and then you keep going into it, it takes on different forms. But if you keep it, that's ignoring that every single form dissolves into nothing every single time. Every single one of them. It seems to appear, it goes into nothing and then takes focus and starts to come out of focus, and then starts to look like atoms or whatever when you're looking at it through a microscope. Yeah. So the skin cell is now atoms. Where's the skin cell? There's no skin cell. There's just atoms in front of dancing.
Right. So what is looking? Yeah. What is looking at itself? This is looking at itself under the microscope.
Yeah. It stares at it from its own perspective, from a perspective.
Yeah, any perspective, really. Yeah, because it's all.
You could look at it. You could look at it even closer if you were an ant.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
To an ant, it looks very different.
Completely. Like,
you could, or an elephant.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Imagine an ant on an elephant's body, on the back of its hind. It wouldn't even on its hind. It wouldn't even know.
And on the other side, On the other side is the other pair of eyes of the elephant. Looking at a different thing.
Uh, yeah.
Well, it wouldn't even call it an elephant.
No, I wouldn't even know it as an elephant.
No, it's
It would
Yeah,
be
I forget what those
emptiness.
things are called. Okay, they got these little microscope, these little tiny little something called cows, dust cows or something, dust mites or whatever. They eat up your dead skins right on the body. They say, and there's tons of them, tons of little things, and they can survive just about any kind of type of weather phenomena that would just kill a human, but they'll survive.
Yeah. Well, this is this is eating itself.
Yeah, yeah. Life is always consuming itself. It is. It's always life is
Yeah.
constantly
No,
consuming itself.
literally. I mean, literally.
cannibalism for real.
Yeah.
Oh, it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, if there's cannibalism, that's it. It's the ultimate cannibal.
Yeah. Everything eats everything.
Yeah. That's so funny because we were sitting there watching the video of this little baby gazelle got caught by a male lion, and the lion just started eating it while it was still alive. It's like screaming out in pain, everything. Everyone's freaking out about it, watching it. But then eventually, it started to calm down while it's still alive, and this lion's just ripping it to pieces, eating it while it's just quietly sitting there. But it seemed to get into this peaceful state, and everyone's like, "But it's kind of sad." And I said, "It's kind of beautiful." And they're like, "What do you? It's beautiful?" And it's eating. That's its food. It's going to process everything it eats in it, and then that energy becomes the life of the lion. So where's the gazelle? It's the life of the lion. It becomes one with the life of the lion. It was never separate from the lion
Yeah.
or the gazelle. That life it doesn't belong to the bodies,
Yeah.
to the apparent bodies.
And yet it can be very natural to root for the gazelle to get away.
Yes, it is. It's just as beautiful for that too, and also to look at the lion and say, I want the lion to eat as well.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
there's not a split, there's not a conflict there either.
No.
Doesn't have to be I mean, it could feel like a conflict, but it feels like the me has to find a position. The me has to have a fixed position all the time, or else it's a hypocrite. It can't be open to everything.
Unless it is everything.
It is everything, no, because that's where it hides. It
Yeah.
hides in separation.
It hides.
Yeah, that's the only out.
Uh,
The only real out is to be everything.
Yeah.
yeah,
That's
that's
Be
true. Yeah.
something that's everything.
it hides by being everything.
Yeah. So in the sense of when it resists those emotions that it can't stand, there's all that great suffering and pain because there's some kind of emotion going on. As soon as it releases that fight with that, boom, just peace.
Yeah.
There's no more. There's not a struggle there. There's not a struggle anymore. It does. All it's fighting with is a feeling.
Yeah.
I don't want to feel this. But I love that now. There used to be thoughts that used to come up and say that, and it used to make sense to run away with those thoughts. Just yeah, that thought makes complete sense. I don't want to feel like that. And then the me would be like, no, we don't need to feel this. And no, we're going into that feeling. I love it. I like going into these feelings. I started liking that stuff, going into the feeling to see what was there, just see what was really felt there. So all the edginess, all that sharpness, and everything just completely disappears.
Mm.
It's not scary when you get close to it. When you get close, it's only scary at a distance. It scares the shit out of you at a distance, especially when it tells you that you get any closer to this feeling, you're gonna die.
Gregory, are you saying when you go into everything, it's empty?
Yeah, it's empty even of me going into it. There was never me going into it. It was just happening. Yeah. And that's how it can appear too. It can appear like that's how it almost appears. It appears like there's a me and there's a feeling, and there's this feeling that's not liked and it's at a distance.
Yeah.
And then there's this releasing of that me, what the me wants. The me doesn't want to feel like that. And it's just like, come on, feeling, just come on, let's just go ahead and just full on feeling. Let the full on feeling happen. Let's see what happens. And it's so scared of something happening, and it's that feeling it doesn't want to happen. So let's go ahead and since I'm already imagining that's going to happen, and I'm causing all this so-called anxiety happening. Why don't I just fall all the way into the anxiety, see what happens?
Mm-hmm.
Is it going to kill me? Well, hopefully it will. I find it feels pretty good when those things kill me. It's just killing a belief that there's a me there that had to feel all that stuff. That you didn't have to do any of that.
Just
I had
energy.
to fight against that, or had to accept it, or to any of that stuff. It's so funny because it seems like there's a you that has to accept it, and then it's like almost fully accepted, and there was never a you there doing it.
Yeah, that's the shocker. it's not that the me disappears. That's what's commonly misunderstood.
No, that story can still
It's
happen.
it was never there. You were never there.
Mhm. That's what I mean. It seems now it's just a report now. I mean, that's what it seems to be from here, whatever that means. But it seems to be when something arises like that, oh, I feel like this. It's just a report of what seems to be happening. That's it. It's a very innocent
Mhm.
descriptor that can't really explain anything, but it's trying and it's innocent and it's actually kind of beautiful
Yeah, that is
that
beautiful.
it's even happening. That's
Exactly.
why it's beautiful.
That it has an opinion. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that it even has an opinion. Yeah, then an opinion can even happen. Like how beautiful is that? An opinion can even happen. I mean, it doesn't have to be mine, but I mean, when it feels like it has to be yours, there's the struggle.
I mean, it's going to come anyway.
Yeah, it's gonna happen anyway.
So you're what I'm hearing, what you're saying is basically if you let what you would call anxiety happen wholeheartedly, it's a powerful energy.
Mm.
Yeah, well,
And
it's this aliveness. It's this
tell it
aliveness.
what
So
it
you call it
is,
energy.
and
Yeah.
it's telling you what it is.
Mhm. But
What
it's
a
not even
different.
you that's doing that. It's fine to go into that, even with that story. And it seems like many people go into that. They call it shadow work and all kinds of different names. But they call it all the time working with emotions, emotional work, or whatever. And then some people seem to have done that even before they seem to had a shift. And then some people seem to have done it. Like I thought, I didn't even need to do that once the beat dropped and stuff. And there was, but then there was like 3 years of just where just nothing, everything was equanimous. So it was just there was like some bit of resistance there, but even the resistance was okay. So it was just there wasn't a whole lot of fighting there. Like something would come up and it was like, okay, well, it'll take care of itself, and it would. So there was no big struggle with anything.
Mhm.
And all of a sudden, then there was this something seemed to trigger it, and all of a sudden there was a me again. And it was a big struggle, and it was a big, scary struggle again. So all of a sudden, I was like, "What? I didn't think this could happen again after 3 years. What the hell? What happened?" So yeah, but going into a lot of those things, and then it seemed like Angelo DeLulo stuff, and watching a lot of his stuff, talking to him, and comments and stuff, and he would say things that he wouldn't even try to tell me what to do, and there seemed to be something there was looking for some kind of direction. You're all right, you're okay, you're handling
Yeah.
it just fine.
Yeah.
And it was just this, there's something in there that wanted direction, and then there was a noticing of that, oh, there's something that wants to move, there's something wants something to change here. Okay, and that's beautiful. Okay, and then seeing that, and then that just seemed to bring about its own release on its own. There was nothing here that was making that happen.
No.
So it was like, oh, okay. And it was just not even the noticing was making it happen. It was just part of what was happening.
No.
Yeah.
No.
But that I can see the I will rise up, those thoughts will rise up to report that, and immediately that sensation can get attributed again to the body and to whatever separation is saying is something separate. It's going to some kind of idea. Because you have a lot of people in non-duality walk around and say there's no me, and that's their identity is there's no me. And you can hear it in everything they say because they talk about no me and they talk about it as an entity experiencing something. So you can almost hear it coming from belief. It's not really coming from, from everything, so to speak. It's just you can almost hear a difference in it. It speaks to separation, doesn't speak to wholeness. Even though
Yeah.
there's no difference. There's no difference though between wholeness and separation at all. But it just seems like when there's talking about the I and what it's experiencing, but that's when the me like there's with self realization. There's the seeing that there's no me, and all of a sudden then there's talking about right after that. And then that can take over, and then someone can really go about trying to teach everyone how to get rid of a me.
Yeah. It can be pretty shocking when you realize that even separation isn't separate.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. What a relief that is, so too. It's like
Yeah.
instant relaxation.
Than that, yeah. Freedom is freer than just being a verber.
Yeah. Oh, and that's it. Like
Reverberating.
the struggle can start to come back too, and then there's like the sensate the idea that the struggle's not
It's
supposed to be
helpful
happening.
though.
The noticing and the resistance and going, wait a second, this is allowed to have. This is what's pushing against it, and it all relaxes, all on its own. You don't even have to
Ultimately,
do anything.
yeah, ultimately, all we're doing is snapping out of the idea that we're a separate self-identity.
Yeah, well, that's all the whole
It's
believing.
a
Everything that
broader
every
scope.
story is that's identifying. Every single story, every word is an identification. It's an
Well, I mean, it is
identification
if
of
you
something.
identify with it.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Yeah, well, no, the words are actually naturally empty and neutral. There's nothing behind it that's making them identify. But that's what belief does. Belief seems to trust in the word as a real thing. So,
Mhm.
and there's
yeah,
nothing making belief happen. There's nothing that's behind belief making belief happen. That's responsible for it. So it can just totally happen and just stop happening, or partially stop happening. Like sometimes there's certain beliefs and yet believing still happening and says it's not believing. Oh.
Hey guys, what is amazing. Really, really great to be with like-minded. This is not taken lightly here. It's a real privilege to hang out with y'all. Thank you so much, everyone. Manny, Chuck, Addie, Gregory, Don, and on. Thank you guys so much for coming. Have a wonderful night.
Thanks, Michael.
good to see you,
Thank
Greg.
you. Appreciate it.